Live tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway. It is the BNR Xfinity Series. Excited to get this race underway. Taking a live look at qualifying. That double zero's already out on the track. Thomas Andrews, once again, you're in the booth with me tonight, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, DP. Excited for this Xfinity series at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Atlanta, that's where everyone seems to be at this week. It's an awesome track. Really cool to go to this track one last time before they repave it and they reconfigure it, actually. But these Xfinity cars are going to put on a great show here tonight.
We see the double zero end his first lap. Opting to take the outside here during qualifying, Tommy. Ooh, and he's hard into the wall. That's definitely going to hurt his qualifying chances tonight. Um, Maybe an unorthodox line he was running live now with the 55 of Steve Baker. This is a driver that's been really fast, and even he having a little issues there with this Xfinity car. Sometimes, Tommy, these cars are hard to drive, and with this really old surface in Atlanta Motor Speedway, it becomes an issue. The 55 off the track, so these drivers having some issues with in qualifying already.
Yeah, a big slide of the 22 there of Brendan Moore. Steve Baker, he had a mixed bag of laps there because the first lap put him on pole, provisional pole, and the second lap, I don't know if he really completed that second lap. So really cool to see these guys qualify. We didn't get to see them last week, but this week we got three guys up here: Steve Baker in the 55, Robert Reynolds in the double zero. He is qualified second right now, and Ricky Udding on the track now. He is in third. Looks like
Qualifying here underway. Sorry about that, Tommy. Here at Atlanta, BNR Xfinity Series. This is going to be round 5. Steve Baker has been pretty much dominant for the last 4 races, but Atlanta's going to be a different track, Tommy. This is going to be a track where you really got to hit your lines just right, and as you can see, these cars look pretty tough to drive out there.
Steve Baker has been putting on a show these first 4 races. 4-0. Can anybody dethrone him and stop him from making 5 in a row? This, he hasn't completely run away with the championship yet because, number one, it's such a long series that the schedule goes all the way until, I believe, middle of July in 2022. And also, this series has a playoff system. Top 16, I believe, make it to into the playoffs. A win locks you in. You can also get in on points. But one thing that Steve Baker has been able to do is he's been able to accumulate a good amount of bonus points going into the start of the playoffs. So we'll see if somebody can kind of dethrone him and lock themselves in the playoffs, because you don't want to go towards the end of the season looking for a win to get in.
So far in qualifying, the fast lap here, Tommy, is a 31.674. That belongs to the 55 of Steve Baker. The double zero with a 31.739. We saw him earlier. Dustin German had a really strong race last week. He runs at 31.767. That's your top 3 so far. The 88 of Dakota Kramer, he's on the track and he's into the wall. These guys are having issues all over the place with these Xfinity cars here in Atlanta.
Yeah, these guys are trying to put down the quickest time that they can, and lap, or hopefully they had a good first lap. Oh, see another car loose coming off of 2. I think that's going to be the issue corner. I've seen a lot of cars getting loose coming off of 2, DP.
If this is any indication of how this race is going to go, we are in for a nail biter. Atlanta is one of those tracks. It's unlike a lot of the tracks that we run on this circuit. And so we're about to take a look at the starting grid, Tommy. Looks like they're about to grid up, and we will be going racing very shortly.
Yep, we're going to try to, as they grid up, we're going to try to get the starting lineup here for you. Taking a quick second. Looks like Steve Baker, no surprise in that 55 car, is on pole, followed by Robert Reynolds in the double zero. And then our I believe our second place finisher from last week, Dustin German, in the 57 car, DP.
Yeah, the 43 of Ricky Utting, he's going to start in that fourth position. The 26 of Brian Beach, he's going to start fifth. Anthony Zirkle in the 61 Xfinity ride. He runs a 31.857. That's good enough for sixth place. Brandon Burkhart in seventh. Brandon Moore in eighth.
The 22 car, Brendan Moore in eighth. You said that. Daniel Keon in the 25 car. I hope I'm saying that right. I may not be. Please, we will find out soon. But he's in the 25 car, rolling off ninth. And then we have Austin Moore in that 20 car. Looks like a Kevin Harvick throwback there. That's pretty cool to see. Rounding out, 11th place starter is Andrew Jackson in the 12 car, and then the 18 car Toyota of Taylor Kay, rounding out the top 12.
Running in the 13th position, Ryan Chapman. He's going to be looking to get through some drivers here and get up to the front of the field. Nathan Bogart runs 14th. Skylar Sigston in that 68 ride, he's going to come in 15th. A whole lot of cars going to start this race, Tommy. Dakota Kramer, he runs in the 16th position. Philip Bridgman driving the 8 car. Saw a little bit of him last week. He's going to start 17th. Darrell Wells rolls off 18th.
And then rounding out the field, we have the 77 of Robert Amarla, the 54, Brian Huntley Jr., and behind him is the 56 of Christopher Spencer. Next is the 98, a guy we saw a lot in practice, putting down some good laps, Samuel Howard.
The 55 going to be in control of this race to begin. The 00 of Robert Reynolds. He's going to start outside pole. Tommy, I'm thinking that the inside going to have the benefit just on this restart, especially. Only time will tell. The lights are off on the pace car. The pace car is down pit road, and these drivers are about to take the green flag.
And we're green here. Great start by that 00 car. Almost like he beat him to the line there. I don't know if that's an issue. Looks to be all good. We got the 55 down low. Going to clear that 00 coming off that corner. Coming off of turn 2 here. And 1, 2, 3, 4 have kind of checked out from the rest of the field here, DP.
Clean racing so far that we're seeing these drivers trying to get single file and a little bit spread out if they can. Two drivers that are not spread out, that 00 of Robert Reynolds and Steve Baker, they are flying high tonight right now. Just the second lap in, but these drivers already getting a little bit spread out, split up into about 2 or 3 packs.
Something about this track, DP, that we know very well. This track is definitely tough on tires. These guys are going to have 3 sets for the entire race for 100 laps, so they're going to have to use their tires wisely. Also, they're going to have 1 fast repair for all 100 laps, so they're going to have to take care of their car as well as tires.
Dustin German in that 57 led a bunch of laps last week at Phoenix. He's going to be in the 3rd place position. For a second there, it looked like those top 2 were starting to check out. The 00 looks like he is losing a little bit of time to that 55. The 57 is going to look underneath, try to make it side by side. And Tommy, he wasn't able to get side by side, but definitely when you can get to the rear quarter panel of another driver, you can slow them down.
Oh, most definitely. The side draft helps here. It allows the car to slow down the other car that you're racing, and kind of get that momentum going into the corner. This is a we got a car loose off the corner. This is a very aero dependent track. A lot of drafting. These cars are very close, so any little bit helps. But the cream rises to the top here. We have the 55 of Steve Baker, the 57 of Dustin German, and the 00 of Robert Reynolds in your top 3.
Yeah, and that makes up your top three. A second little trio forming for the fourth place position. You saw it on your screens. That 26 just a little bit ago got really loose, and it brought the 43 of Ricky Udding up to them. They continue to battle here. Three drivers here for fourth place, and so we're seeing really good racing. Quiet 1999-47 says crash will happen soon or later. Thank you, Quiet. One of those good quietisms that we always love to hear during the race.
Yeah, Quiet, a national treasure. Thanks for tuning in, Quiet. We appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the broadcast, buddy.
And if you are here, make sure that you give us a shout out in the Twitch. Let us know who your favorite driver is, who you're rooting for. We want to talk about them. Moving on back through the field, Tommy, running in the sixth place position. That's Anthony Zirkle in that 61 car. We see the 43 and the 26. That's that battle for fourth. Looks like the 26 able to conquer the 43 for now, but the 61 staying right up there with him. And Tommy, you know as well as I know, sometimes if it's going to go green like this, you definitely want to try to stay as close to the leader as you can so you don't fall behind, even so far behind that you start getting into a position where you're going to lose a lap.
Oh, most definitely. You don't want to lose that draft. You don't want to lose touch with the cars around you because these leaders are putting down some really fast laps and they're not really trying to pass each other. I'm sure if that 57 gets an opportunity, he would love to pass that 55. But right now, it looks like they're just kind of riding, trying to get some good laps down, keep the car clean, take care of the tires, be there at the end. Something both of these guys in the 55 and 57 have done a great job all year round.
The battle for the lead here, the 57 of Dustin German. He's made it up to Baker. Not doing anything with him right now. We're still very early in this race. Lap 9 coming to you. And so 100 laps in this race. They got a long time to go. Definitely some pit stops that have to happen. And so I think these top three are very thankful to be up here, not worrying about the battle back there behind them, and just kind of trying to ride around, fill out their car. And if you can be there at the end, you can make a move.
Yep, you got to be there at the end to win it. You can't win the race in the first lap, but you can definitely lose it. These guys know that all too well. These guys are putting on a great performance here. Very clean race so far. I wouldn't say leg that you do at Phoenix, but these guys are really putting on a great show here.
A great show indeed. And about from the ninth place position back to about 15th or so, 14th or so, these guys are really racing back here too. Uh, eh, these races count for all these self in a position where maybe you didn't think you had the car to win the race. If you can get yourself in a position to get a top 10, that's huge for your season. And back here in the middle of the field, they are racing hard. This field led by that number 6 car, Ryan Chapman. Nope, I'm sorry, the number 20 leading this pack, Tommy. And you can see it. They are racing hard back here.
Yeah, Austin Moore in that 20 car appears to be like I said earlier, a Hunt Brothers Pizza scheme. Love that scheme. Awesome job by him. We got the 8 car Budweiser scheme, very familiar scheme, and and we got like about 6 cars here, 7 cars underneath the blanket here, battling for uh, what do we got here, 6th place. As we come back to the lead, nothing's changed. Steve Baker still leading Dustin German by about a third of a second here. 00 starting to close in a little bit. At the beginning of the race or earlier on, you saw him kind of hang back a little bit there. Was he saving his stuff? Maybe he's got a better long run car than the 2 guys in front of him. We'll have to wait and see here.
And now, Tommy, we start to deal with that issue of these cars tightening up. We're sitting here watching the leader as he drives around the track, and his car, he's going to feel some tightening up, of course. But let's be honest, these are Xfinity cars, and so I think these cars might tighten up a little different. I think the person who really is having the issue from a driver's point of view is that 57. The 57 of Dustin German, it seems like it's easy for him to get up there, but then it's a lot harder. Well, why? Well, the 55 is running right in front of him, and if you can do that in the middle of the corner, that's going to tighten that 57 up a lot. And then you got to let off, and so you start to lose ground. And so the 55 just trying to hit his marks, do the right thing. The air will kind of do his job for him if he can keep the 57 behind him.
Definitely, that 55 car is doing exactly what he needs to do. 57 car, German, is doing a great job, but like you said, you wouldn't. For some people who aren't very familiar, know how dependent these cars are. Just by the guy in front of him, the leader, changing his line will totally change the way that car handles in the middle of the corner.
Great racing that we're seeing so far this evening. We've gone all green since the start of this race. They're still going to have about 84 laps to go when they cross the start finish line. And that's going to make things different. I think that if we go green for much longer, these drivers are going to really start thinking strategy, because one of the things that happens, Tommy, is that as these cars spread out across the track, you get less and less opportunity for drivers to get into each other and cause an accident. And so the more that they go green, the more likely they are to continue to go green, and that's going to change the strategy a lot for these Xfinity drivers.
Oh, no question. This race can go a significant amount of laps before there's a caution here. Like you said, once you get spread out, there's really no excuse for a caution other than maybe someone getting loose and wrecking and another car coming in and T-boning that car that's spinning. But yeah, I mean, these guys are putting on a great show. It's interesting to see how strategy works out here. I know at the end of the Phoenix race last week, oh, 57 gets really loose there. Stays out of the wall, though. Good job by him. But anyway, to get back to Phoenix from last week, these guys, that good new tires at the end of the race were critical. The leaders were able to save a set for the last pit stop. The caution came at just the right time for them to come in and get a pit and get fresh tires. And it was really the deciding factor in the race.
I want to draw attention to something that I'm starting to notice, Tommy. The 55 continues to run the bottom, the 00 and the 57. They have moved up. I think the 57 ran the middle there in 3 and 4, and he is all the way up against the wall in 1 and 2. And so these drivers are definitely starting to search around and try to see what they could do to make a better race car out of what they got. The 26 car continues to run fourth. That's Brian Beach. Running in the fifth place position is Ricky Utting. That's going to make up your top five, but it looks like fourth and fifth, they have fallen away from the leaders. And then we're all spread out here, Tommy. We got a nice little battle going on for that seventh place position between Tate K and Aaron Jackson.
Yeah, the 18 car of Taylor K and Aaron Jackson in the 12 car battling it out here. Toyota versus Ford. 12 car looking low, not going to be able to clear him coming off the corner, but staying on, sucked to his side, trying to get the advantage going down into turn 3. Sliding up a little bit, not going to make it happen. The 18 is going to prevail coming off the corner.
Really hard when you're that guy on the bottom, because at Atlanta, you really, if you're going to run the bottom, you really want to be able to arc that corner to come up as high as you can, dive into the corner, and give your car enough turn to speed off. When you're running what the 12's doing, it's really hard to do that and not slide up the track and get really tight coming off. But it looks like the 12 car has maybe a little bit faster car in the middle of the corner, but you see that side draft. Ooh, the 18 into the wall just a little bit. That's going to give the 12 car the advantage for seventh place.
Yeah, 12 and 18 got together ever so slightly there. Possibly some damage on that 18 car. We'll have to keep tabs on that. But one of the guys that I was looking at, this 6 car, Ryan Chapman, we haven't talked about him yet. Oh, caution is out. So we'll have to hold off on talking to him. But great run for the 6 car. We're going to go back to the lead here to see what exactly happened. Looks like let's see if we can get Oh, 20 car gets in the wall, comes back down and collects the 54. Unfortunate break for him. And then the 66 car with nowhere to go. Unfortunate. Luckily, these guys have a fast repair, so they'll be able to use it. But you don't want to use that fast repair that early, DP.
First caution out here at Atlanta BNR Xfinity Series. Just 24 laps into this race, and still a ton of laps to go, a ton of time to get your car up to the front. And that's what we talked about. That battle that we just talked about between the 18 car, that could be really important. That could change the whole complexion of that driver's race. And so this is where you got to strap them up. You're going to have a whole nother restart, Tommy. But right now, you've got to be able to execute down pit road. The 55 is going to lead the entire field down pit road.
55 down pit road. Looks like everybody's following him. No surprise there. 57 tucked in right behind him. These guys are going to want tires for sure. 4 fresh tires. We're at lap 20. So kind of interesting to see how this goes because you have 3 sets. You figure, you start off on 1 set, then you have 3 additional sets. If you want to save one for a late race caution or maybe a green-white checker, you're going to have to manage those tires. Here we are at not even a quarter of a way through this race, and these guys are already taking their first set of tires, DP.
Steve Baker in that 55 taking advantage of that first pit stall and able to get out way in front of everybody else. The 57 going to come back out second. The 00 in third. Tommy, we're going to get the opportunity to take our first break. Just 25 laps into this BNR Xfinity Series action. Going to take a couple minutes, and then we'll be right back live for the restart of this race.